So it's not gonna be, we're not gonna be wearing shorts and a t-shirt. We're gonna be pants, hoodies. It's gonna be nice. Like you're be hiking and you're not gonna be like sweltering. I think it's gonna be perfect. Okay. I think one year they had a little bit of snow on the ground, which is pretty. Okay. This is explore the Great Southwest. Okay. So this is gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. 2,500. Wow. 2,500 plus insurance. Okay. 2,500 plus insurance. Okay. Let me go through here. So same thing, Valley of Fire, State Park, Zion, Bryce Canyon, Horseshoe Bend, in Grand Canyon, Sedona. I heard Sedona was beautiful. I've not been to this part. But very, a little bit different, but similar to the previous one. But yes, again, we're out in nature. I don't know. To me, this would be another good trip. I've never been out there like this right here. Just this picture, I'm like, yes, let's go. That looks cool. I don't see anything like that here in Lynchburg. It looks safe. I like it. I like it. The only thing I've ever heard with them going out was a kid dropped his phone because it was in his back pocket and he was sitting like on the edge of something and it just fell out and he's like, Mr. Werner, it's only 8 feet down. Let me go get it. No. I was gonna say no. Go get it. It'd be 12 feet down by the time you get it out. So anyway, 2,500 plus insurance. This is Puerto Rico, and it is the most expensive, which is interesting because when we went with Coors, it was the cheapest, and because it was a territory of the U.S. and we were just right here. So Puerto Rico, I will say I feel like there was more. We had more time at the beach with Puerto Rico than we did with Costa Rica because where we were was, our hotel was a block from the beach. So we do our whole day excursion and then we have free time and they spend at least an hour at the beach right before it was dinner time. And it was just, we just walked there. It was really nice. So again, 7 days total, two travel days. The rainforest, the bioluminescent kayaking tour was really awesome. You go out and it's night and they stir the stuff up, whatever, I don't know. I'm not being technical and I'm sorry, I'm not painting a very good picture. But it was beautiful, like it was just, you're out in this water, it's dark, you're trying to stay in the kayak, it was just so much fun. It was just a really great time, and it was beautiful, that was beautiful. We went to Old San Juan, oh, that was beautiful. I've never seen blue water like that, except for, actually, no, I take that back, St. John's probably was bluer than that, but that's where we took Mr. Bowman's boat cruise. Anyway, so San Juan was a beautiful old town, lots of cool shopping. You got to see, and it's here. We went to, yes, El Morro. It was a strategic fort there. We got to tour in there. It was beautiful. It was just really neat to see and read the history of that. And then we did go shopping there in Old San Juan. There is a ministry day that we had, and we got to partner with a local ministry, and we did some cleaning. It was like, we were weed eating, we were painting, we were nailing stuff, we were doing all kinds of stuff. And then there was a Christian school right next to that ministry, and we just took our soccer balls, our volleyballs, and they came over, and we just went out and played with them. It was just really, really fun time. And then they fed us, the ministry fed us. It's just so good. We did zip lining. The cooking class is new. That we did not do that, so I'm not sure what that's about. That would be kind of fun. We did go to, actually I didn't make it to this one. Somebody got sick, so I stayed behind. But they did a catamaran cruise, they did a banana boat, like all that fun stuff. So they went to this little bitty, from what I understand, like a little island and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. They had a good time. I will say, either Puerto Rico or Costa Rica, the sun is different. So if you get pinkish here, you're going to be reddish there. And so both times we had parents who were medical professionals, and I'm not kidding, especially with Orange Group in 25, we were like, I already did, put the sunscreen on again. I already put it on right now, because wow, they were bothered. So any of these trips I think will be fantastic trips to take. We pick ones that we're familiar with, yes. I understand sometimes the mindset can be, but they've gone 3 times in a row. Yes, but you've not been. You can experience it differently than they would experience it. Like this cooking class, I have no idea. You saw that, sorry, I don't know what that is, but,
Is there a ministry day on every trip? No.
Not the US ones.
not the US ones.
Okay.
And so you're presenting these 4 options in your class to choose, and it's just majority rules?
And what if they know for sure they're not going, like, do you pull those out?
Yeah, I
of the
don't.
vote? So, like,
I don't
they know
let
they're
those
not
vote because
going.
I want it to be a true,
And when do they decide?
we're gonna vote on Thursday,
This Thursday?
just so that they can, then they have a goal in mind. So every time we do a fundraiser, okay, now it's because this is where we're going. For sure. Yeah. Any questions about these? Can I, just since you guys are here, any of you thinking you might go with them on the trip? Yeah, okay, just wondering. Maybe, no?
Maybe the Arizona one.
Maybe, okay, so I guess maybe depends on where they go.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's what I'd like you guys to do, like,
If you're offering to watch me and Logan before we go, we'll go.
right, right? That'd be so awesome, that'd be so awesome. What I can do is I can actually put these options in an email and try to send it to you tonight. So you can just sit with your kids tonight and the next couple nights and just like, hey, let's just think this through. Like, would it be great to go fill in the blank? Sure, but just realistically, let's just kind of look at the numbers here, you know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, seriously, you have older kids, and so you know what senior year looks like, you've already experienced it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't wanna pick a $4,000, $5,000 trip because I know that's gonna eliminate several kids in the class from even being able to go. And I don't wanna do that. I know not everybody's gonna go for different reasons, but I don't want it to necessarily be because I just don't have $3,000 to shell out.
So historically, with fundraising, has there been classes that fundraising has covered everything, or is it?
Yes,
So
Yes.
it's doable
yes.
if we just work hard
Yes.
at it.
And there was Orin's class where they were $130-something shy. So that was $130 that came out of my pocket,
Okay.
extra, because they were shy. So it's gone both ways. So what'll happen is, the school is gonna contribute $500 per student. We're hoping that the student can raise $500, so there's $1,000 going into the trip. And so what'll happen is, once we decide where we're gonna go, we tell Joshua Expeditions, they're gonna send Beth a link, and it will say, we'll send it out to you guys, create an account with Joshua Expedition, here's the trip account number, here's when the first payment is due. The last payment is due December, January, and that's the payment the school pitches in, okay? I think they do 2 payments, I know they do the last one, I don't remember, maybe they do the first one once, I can't remember. But Beth will give you all that information, okay? And take care of it. And I will say, if you're not on time for the payment, they give you a $50 late fee. Because we were late one time, we weren't late after that. Okay, so, any questions about that, just
Many moons ago, when my senior graduated, when they went to Romania, we did a prayer letter, like at church. But it was because they were going, back then it was a missions trip. So I didn't know if that's done and the individual receives money, it still goes in the pot for everybody?
No, that was part of the thing I was telling you earlier. I'll give you a letter so that they can do it directly.
Okay.
Right.
that's, in my mind, the letter goes to me, whatever I get from that. So they're gonna send the money to you. They're not gonna send the money to Timberlake Christian School. They're gonna send the money to you, and whenever it's time to make your payment, you're just making your payment out of your, does that make sense? You're making your payment out of your bank account because you put the money in
Yes.
there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it just won't be tax deductible doing it that way.
Correct. It won't be taxed about. That's true. If they give it to you.
But if they give it to you through
No, you
Venmo,
just
you don't have
say
to
it
put a
together.
1099 for
There
that. It's friends and
Say
family.
it
There you
together.
go.
You're
You'd
good.
wanna do Venmo, not PayPal, like PayPal's goods and services.
I don't know, I like the yard sale idea, like I get a couple friends together and we have a couple friends do a yard sale together and it's 3 of us and we split it 3 ways. We all have junk that we wanna get rid of, you know. I just put a slap TCS on it. Any other questions about statements? Yes?
For the senior wall, is the paint provided or do we use our own paint?
Yes, so we have so much paint, we start off with like, let's see what we have already, and then you tell me what colors we need, what we need to fill in, and then we go get that. With brushes and all that good stuff. Okay? Good question. Okay, any other questions? About that? Perfect, okay. All right, so let me go back to this. Okay. Dual enrollment. The kid most likely is already taking a dual enrollment class now with U.S. history. My goal with this dual enrollment program is not to have them graduate with an associate's degree, just graduate with some classes in their pocket so they can head out. The classes that we chose are ones that are on everybody's degree completion plan if they go to Liberty. If they don't go to Liberty, so this is a question you need to ask. Son, daughter, where do you want to go? What do you want to study? Because if they go to Virginia Tech or UVA or William & Mary or wherever, or University of Texas, they might not take the Bible classes. So don't take the Bible classes, right? As don't pay the money for a class you can't transfer over. We want to make sure that wherever they go, these classes are going to transfer. I left mine off. We offer a Math 121 dual enrollment course for only one semester. Everybody who goes to college has to take a math class, at least one semester of math. It doesn't matter what your major is. When I went to college, I didn't have to take one math class. But now everybody does, okay? So we offer Math 121, it's college algebra.
It'll be easy.
It was either that or statistics and so I took the one that sounded so fast. Okay, so the advantage of taking it with us is Liberty is not requiring that I make your student take a math placement test before they can take our class. If they wait to take it with Liberty, they will have to take a math placement test. And if they don't test well, and they end up having to take a lower level math class, then they're gonna have to take 2 semesters of math. The lower level math class and the math class that they're really supposed to be taking. Does that make sense? So right now, Liberty's not requiring us to do a math placement, so while we can ride that train, my encouragement is everybody has to take a math class, take a math class. So it would be scheduled for first semester. So what do they do second semester? Second semester, they can go home. They can go home, okay? Or if they have a class after that class, they can stay here, come in the study hall, and they use the class. That's what they do. Even if they don't go to Liberty, I would highly recommend taking English 101 and 102. You gotta take English, it doesn't matter where you go. Liberty sets it up that where and you can help me too with this. They require that you take English 101. English 102 is not required, however, it is an information literacy elective. And for us, you have to have 2 semesters of English. If I have to have 2, I might as well take 102, and I'm knocking out, an information literacy elective. Everybody has at least one information literacy elective. Some of your majors are gonna have 2, which is why they're taking history 222 right now, HRUS 222. That takes care of one, and then English 102 will take care of the second one. But again, it's just, and I know a lot of kids don't know what they want to do, so for me, okay, don't lock yourself in then. Fine, take the U.S. history class, history class, take the English 102 class, and it's okay, so I have one extra. I didn't know what I was going to study anyway, you know what I'm saying? Or hey, I'm glad I took both of them because I do have to take 2 information literacy electives if they don't know, you know what I'm saying? So, Dr. Watson teaches the Bible classes. Mrs. Jessie Brevard teaches our dual enrollment math class. She's a part-time teacher who teaches pre-calculus and dual enrollment math. And then Miss Longhorn teaches English 101, English 102. Okay. Deidre and I's kids went to Cedarville. We only did the English at the time. We didn't do anything else, right?
We only did it through CBCC.
And we did it through
They didn't
CBCC.
take it.
So they took English 101, but they didn't take the English 102. So our kids had to take like a lit
I
class.
was gonna say with the Bible, if your kids are gonna go to a Christian college other than Liberty, they might not take those either.
Correct. Yeah. So again, it's just important. Where do they want to go? There's 5 different places that they're thinking about. Okay, great. Just have them come sit with me, and it's very easy to see if these will transfer over or not. Okay, let's not invest in something that's
Some of
not.
them will transfer it as history though, I think.
Yes,
So
it just
if
depends.
you know where they wanna go, you just,
Yes. Transfer.
theology.
And do they need to get a certain grade for it to transfer?
So you have to have a 3.0 GPA. They all fit this. They have to at least take the PSAT. not gotten a certain score, but just taken a PSAT. It's something that our liaison recommended. And I think after this senior year, we're gonna ask for recommendation letters from teachers because I have kids who are failing it. I have a couple kids who are failing the history class. I have somebody who's failing the English 102 class. And it's not that they're not capable, they're just not doing it. I mean, and so, the first year we did this with CBCC, and well, the first 3 years, and then when we switched to LU, we did not put on fax their grades. If you wanted to know what your kid's grade was, you had to say, hey, Kim, I need you to pop up in your Canvas and let me see what your grades are, okay? So last year, somebody failed the class, the history class, and I had been in contact with the parent and, one of them, and we had been talking, and the kid knew, father emailed me, super irate, call him, he's irate. I had no idea she was failing the class. I had no idea she was behind. I didn't know, I'm like, I've been in contact with your wife this whole time. Emails, phone calls, car line, all the fun stuff. I'm not trying to throw anybody in the bus. My wife's memory, it is just horrible. So you need to communicate with me from around. So I'm supposed to know these things. Okay, so that's fine. I'm supposed to know these things that I should learn in grad school. So then I talked to our liaison with LU and I said, will you guys allow us to put the grades in our system so that parents can see what's going on? And they said, fine. So what they're doing is they're copying and pasting the assignment from Canvas, the title and everything, and the point value, and putting it in fact so you can see a running total of what your kid's doing. Because every time we put a grade in, if there's an F, you're getting a notification, hey, Johnny got an F and this what's missing, or whatever. So they're juniors and seniors. There should be a little bit of loosening of the leash, right? But I understand, they're still high schoolers. Okay, and they're not doing their work. They didn't put their clothes away after you said put them away 5 times, and they said I got it done, and it's still not done. And the teachers say, hey, I need this assignment. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm gonna turn it in, and it's not being turned in. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, wow, this is totally okay. So it's a hard balance, right? You're trying to give them some responsibility at the same time, realizing.
But do they need to earn a B in order for it to transfer to Liberty?
Oh, that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay, just a passing grade.
Okay.
So,
It goes in.
is D?
Yeah.
D
A
for
passing.
under 100, 200, and then C or above 300, 400.
Oh,
So yeah, just a D.
So seriously, I've not had anybody, I think we've always had a C or higher,
Okay.
but last year was the first F,
Oh, yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
This year's not gonna be the first. Okay, it is $200 for the class, but you guys, that's such a good deal. They're getting a 3-credit class for $200. The Bible classes at Liberty are 2 credits. Still, 2 credits for $200 is fantastic, okay? Because they run anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a credit hour, okay? For those of you who've been to college, could you just sit down, because I'm trying to do this, but there's so many of them. Sit down with your students and just help them to understand, right now, you're in school for 30 plus hours a week. When you go to college, it's anywhere from 15 to 18, they'll be like, oh, that's so awesome, half the time. The workload is slightly different, and there's so much to draw your attention, like, hey, come to this event, but you gotta have time to study for your anatomy and physiology, right, at the same time. So just help them to understand that 3 credits is, I'm in class 3 hours a week. 2 credits, I'm in class 2 hours a week. Because a lot of them don't know this, and I remember my kids too, we graduated from college and you just think it's just gonna flow out through osmosis or something, so, but just help them to understand that so that it's not a shock or they're not speaking the right lingo when they register and all that kind of stuff. Any questions about this?
The $200, would it be in this, when do you pay that? Is that?
So, we will start registering rising seniors first week of May, and I will send a finalized class roster just before school starts. Once school starts, maybe the 2nd week, 3rd week into it, LU will send us an invoice. Mitzi Anderson will send you an email saying, hey, here's how much the class is, and she'll either put it in your fax account, you pay for it there or whatever, but that's.
Okay. So it just falls,
Because I
right?
wanna
It's
wait
not
until
now.
everybody has a chance to drop, you can drop the class, however, if you've already started doing some of the assignments, they're not gonna let you get a refund already gone into the system and started doing some things. So if you're not sure, if your student's not sure if they wanna do this, tell them to talk to the kids who are taking it now. And if they're an athlete, tell them to talk to the athlete who's taking all these classes now. How did you do it? Okay? Can I just say something? I feel like, I don't know, I'm 52, so I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 52. And I feel like the workload is the same here at Timberlake that it's ever been. Like we've offered the same classes, we've added some new ones, right? Anatomy, physiology, and we've had physics for a long time, and the dual enrollment's new. But I'm getting to junior, senior year, and the kids are like, what can I do to take off my plate? But I still want the advanced diploma. I kind of need to study how, because I don't know how I'm gonna do all this. I'm like, wow, it's the same stuff that we've always been doing. It's like they're not capable of holding it up. And maybe, I don't know if you're seeing it on the college level, but they're not capable of handling the workload that's been around for a long time. And so, I don't know how they're doing it when they get to college, because you can't water that down.
No.
You don't want a surgeon cutting you open who barely went to, anyway, I don't know, just help your, time management I think is a big thing. Just help them to time manage. We got everybody those planners, for 7th to 12th grade. You know, we got them one of these, and they probably already had their own. But we're telling them, don't just put in here the anatomy physiology test, the English test, but put in, I've got work this weekend, we're going out of town to visit grandma this weekend. So then you can budget your time better. Don't just put the school stuff, put your life is in here, right? Help them do that, because core, wow, first semester of college, whipped him, knocked him around, slapped him, dipped him in, tar, it was bad. And he's the kid who he hears it, it's locked in the vault, he's good to go. He didn't study for the AP biology exam, passed it. That's just the kind of kid he is. But time management slapped him around, and then he figured it out. So the problem with it is that Liberty is awesome because it pays for grades. But if your GPA drops below, you lose scholarship money. And so that's a big deal, really big deal. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay. Any questions?
I have one about
Yeah.
Liberty, and I'm sorry,
No,
I
you're
meant to
good.
ask you this one-on-one, but, so they get 50% off tuition when they go from Timberlake. What if they do not go consecutively? Are they allowed to, if they graduate in May, they have to start in, okay, I've always wanted to ask
If
that.
you don't jump right in the fall after graduation, you lose a scholarship,
Okay,
okay?
and then it
So-
has to be consecutive 8 semesters.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes, you can't take time off and you jump back in, okay? So, can I just show you real fast, okay? So I just go to Liberty's website, liberty.edu, and I'm gonna type in their search bar scholarships. Okay, and then I'm going to, nope, yep, there we go, scholarships, wow, okay. And then I'm going to click on the first link, scholarships, scholarships, awesome. I'm going to, nope, I'm gonna keep going, we'll talk about the FAFSA in a minute. They are in alphabetical order, I'm sorry, here we go, resident, undergraduate. So explain to your children too, that resident means I'm going to class. I'm going to a class, I'm not doing online. It's not necessarily that I'm living on campus, just residential versus online is I'm going to a class, okay? So these are all in alphabetical order. Did your parents graduate from Liberty? Hey, there's money for you. Every freshman, and I wanna say every student gets book dollars, right? At the beginning of each year, or is it just a freshman? Okay, so you get book dollars.
It's freshman.
Freshman only, thank you if I just read, okay. So freshman get book dollars, so those of you who are going into science fields or whatever, those books are psycho expensive. Like, you're like, what? And the professor only opened up twice in the semester? Okay, so book dollars that give you money to go buy books. Now, that's not gonna cover all of it, okay, but it'll cover some of it. This is not us. This one, undergraduate resident for current year. Okay, this one's based on your parents' income. Okay, do you only make so much? Then hey, there's money for you. Early deposit. Oh my goodness, you people, you parents, you send your kids to CFA and they walk away not doing anything about it. Okay, if you send your kid to CFA, they should be walking away. If they go their junior, senior year, especially senior, if they go to CFA senior year, they should have walked away having applied. Why? There's no application fee because you went to CFA, so I saved $50. Then you pay $200 instead of $250 for early deposit, and if you do early deposit, you get $2,000. So if your kid comes away from CFAW with nothing but the Alani empty can, then they wasted your time. They wasted their time. They wasted a huge opportunity to get the application with no fee and to get that discount on the early deposit. In the Alley household, $50 is $50. So we're like, wherever we can scrimp this, we're gonna do it. Heroes, this is, I think, military, if your parents are in the military, received a card or whatever. You can go through this. Okay, let me get to the one that I really wanna show you. Look at this, it's like a tax bracket, okay? The higher your GPA, the more you get paid, all right? So, your GPA falls between 3 and 3.19, you're gonna get $1,750 for the year. So it's gonna be broken up into semesters, okay? The higher your GPA, the more money you get. SAT, ACT scores are not required for admission, they are required for financial aid, okay? So, your student took the PSAT here, some of you guys took the SAT. I'm just gonna tell you the scores were low because I think the PSAT, I don't think they took it seriously, to be honest. It's a course class.
It's not required for financial aid, it is if you get like a bonus.
So our kids, like Oren had to take, he needed the score for financial aid, they wanted the
Really?
score.
Both my kids didn't have that, must be a new thing.
I don't know,
Mine didn't have that.
but they were asking for the score.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
So, no, you're good. And it could change again. It could change again. So, I just need them to take it seriously. Like, there's free resources for studying for the SAT and PSAT. Khan Academy is a really good one. But you can't study for it the night before. Okay? So, if your kid's good with science, I would highly recommend taking the ACT because there's a specific science section for the ACT, and with the ACT, I can use a calculator for every portion of the math. The SAT, I have a math calculator and a math no calculator section, and there's no science specific questions there. I mean, like science section specific is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm just being the reading part, you know, of course, then you have to read about science or something, not science specific questions. So the higher my GPA is, the more money I get. I will say, because it's down here, here we go. The local private school scholarship, as she said, your kid walks in with 50% off. However, you can't stack. This whole entire list are all LU given scholarships. I can't take the legacy scholarship, the GPA scholarship, and the local private school scholarship and get like 80% discount. It won't let me stack like that. The local private school scholarship is only gonna give me up to 50%. So if I have all this scholarship money and I've got 40% of my tuition covered, the local private school scholarship will give me 10% to get me to the 50%. Does that make sense?
But just right at the top, if you graduate from here. you get
Correct.
50%
If
off.
I walk in with zero scholarships, I'll get at least 50%.
Is that based on financial aid or?
I'm sorry?
Is that based on financial aid?
No.
Oh,
It's an agreement they've had with us and other schools around the area. It used to be 75 back in the day, and then they discontinued it for a while. We weren't owed anything, it was a gift, we weren't owed anything, and then they brought it back at 50. So it's still there. But your students who just do well academically, most likely will not even get this scholarship. It's the last one that's applied to make sure you got up to 50, okay? That's why I try to tell people like grades are money. They're money. In my personal opinion, if you go to Liberty and you do it right, you shouldn't be walking out with a lot of heavy debt. Now, if you're going into like the nursing program or the flight school or whatever, there's gonna be some debt there, like, but those of us who just, you know, wanna be a teacher, you should be walking, because they give you so much money. I really do think they do a good job of that, of giving lots of scholarship funds. Encourage your students to Google scholarships for people who have asthma and are left-handed, scholarships for people who wear Invisalign, scholarships for people who love karate or track or who like to crochet or have allergies or gluten-free. People have money that they don't want to go to the government, and they establish these foundations and these scholarships, and it's just you doing the legwork.
And search your town, because
Search
your
your
town has, Mary Helen, my daughter, won $5,000 because she was the only Campbell County student from our school that applied for this scholarship, and she got it.
So I'll have a Bedford one come across my desk, I'll have a women of Bedford come across my desk, I'll have the Frey
That's
scholarship come across my desk. So all those I share with the students, okay, and there are deadlines, and the deadlines are real. Okay, but yeah, it's just, there's a duct tape scholarship, there's a Taco Bell, Anne-Marie Davis got the Taco Bell scholarship.
There's one where if you make your prom dress out of
Duct tape. You make your prom outfit out of duct tape, if it wins, you get scholarship money, which I think is just great, we got some creative kids here, they just, you know about it. The FAFSA is, okay, free application for student aid is the FAFSA. For those people who are in college, you fill the FAFSA out every single year you're in school, okay? And basically, it's just saying, it's parent information and student information. It's parents, how many kids live in your school, in your house. Did you know they changed the rules in the FAFSA? They no longer consider, do you have multiple kids in college? Well, what's the point? Okay, so, but it looks to see what is your income, how much can your parents contribute, and then that lets the colleges know, this is how much the parents contribute, this is how much they can get from the Pell Grant. So if you make a lot, you probably aren't gonna get much from the FAFSA, but if you're making, I can't remember, below 90 and 95,000 combined, I think you would be eligible for.
But you still have to fill it out to get
You
the scholarships from
have
Liberty.
to fill it out.
Even
So
if
it'll say
you're
here, like here,
multi-million.
must complete the FAFSA. Some of those, and I don't, there was one, not the Frey one, or maybe it was the Frey this year. They actually asked for a copy of the kids' FAFSA,
Yeah, I think they
okay?
Yeah,
So
it is
even
different.
those private scholarships are gonna ask for that. It's not difficult, we will have LU come here in October, if I remember correctly, FAFSA opens October 1st. We have them come as close to that as possible, because the sooner you get in and get it all distributed, like, you know how it is, like, once the money's gone, it's gone kind of thing, so the sooner you get in, the better. So we'll have somebody come to us and help people walk through it, if you've never done it before, if you have, and you're an old hat, then you don't have to come to that meeting. But that's an important one to fill out, okay? And kids, you will have to open up your own account with FAFSA, so you'll have parent and kid account, and every time you go to, you're in school, and you're applying financially, you have to do that every single year, okay? Okay, any questions about that? Okay, awesome, I think, all right, class schedules, the core classes are gonna be in the morning, I already know, because I make the master schedule, first period is government, second period is Bible, third period is English. After that, I'm working on it. So usually after that, it's usually like, who is it? Art is fourth period, graphic design is fourth period. I feel like advanced chemistry was, no, it was at the end of the day. I try to get all the core classes in the morning, because I know some of you guys are like, hey, I wanna go work. And you don't need the electives, because you got enough. So I try to free all day afternoon now. Parents, if your kid's gonna clock out before the end of the day, we just ask at the beginning of the year, you send this one email saying, hey, Ethan has my permission to leave when he's done with classes, okay? If they've not taken economics yet, they will definitely take economics, that was fourth period. So I had kids this year, many of them, who were done after fourth period. Many. They don't know what they wanna do in college, they didn't wanna take the extra electives that we had, they were done, okay? Advanced diploma, just keep in mind, advanced diploma, standard diploma, nobody's gonna know the type of diploma that you received except for you, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. Colleges aren't gonna know, workplaces aren't gonna know, what they're gonna know is what classes did you take, where did you rank in your class, and how did you score your classes. So think of your transcript as your resume. If you're trying to get into Harvard, get into college, that's the first thing they're gonna see, and if you don't have a core class, math, science, English, history, which everybody's gonna have English, if you don't have that your senior year, UVA, Virginia Tech, James Madison, George Mason will not take you. They wanna see that you have those subjects all 4 years. Okay, it's an easy thing for them to look. They're looking through the transcripts, nope, next person. So, they had all the core classes, okay, what else do they do? What do they do in the community? They wanna see that you're involved in the community, not 15 different things. Like, what are you focusing on? How are you being a contributor to the community? Okay, so transcripts are your resumes. They tell a little story about you and where you're from. Okay, any questions about that? The class schedules, this This is the earliest, I started working on it in December, and I'm still working on it, and the goal is to have it done before the end of the school year. It usually takes me the second week of June, because that's when I go and make sure I get it done, because my goal is before the end of the school year. I think I can do it. Take the summer to visit some colleges. Even though colleges are not in session, they still give tours. And so, sign up, if your kid's not sure, visit CVCC. They have lots of great programs. They have a cybersecurity program, obviously on the trades. They have, there's a radiology tech program. Can't remember, that's just what it's called, but they have those kinds of programs as well. But your first couple of years of college, parents, are just general education classes anyway. Giving kids some time. Now listen, if your kid's like, I don't want to do the dual enrollment class, that's okay. That's okay. They just take it in college. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just we're offering it in case, for those kids who are like, I know what I want to do, let's get through this. One more thing before I know. Liberty accepts Sophia learning classes. Sophia learning classes. You can pay $99, take a 3-credit college course, sometimes 2 with the $99, and you're done. You pass it, great, you're done.
Can I say something on that one?
Yes.
Sorry. So my son did the Sophia classes. He took 18 credit hours in 1 month. It cost him $100 to do 18 credit hours. Now, we didn't see him that month.
I do too, but I feel like I have to say it because they accepted, they're the only college, I'm gonna go out and really, I feel secure in the only college in our state that accepts them. So I asked the gentleman who oversees all, why do you guys accept them? Because our competitor does. Well, who's your competitor? Out west, what's that Christian college? Grand Canyon accepts them,
Cedarville doesn't.
okay? So,
Cedarville doesn't take them.
Cedarville will not take them. Will not take them, okay?
It used to be called,
It's different than club.
Intensives.
Study.com.
like intensives, is that?
No, it's even different from an intensive, because an intensive, you're actually doing some work. I've had graduates say, Mrs. Alley, I took the quiz for the first module, only answered one question of the quiz, and then let me go to the second module. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then you got kids on campus pouring through, and whatever, I don't know. I just feel like I gotta let you guys know because it's a thing. Okay, so visit colleges, get scholarships. When your kid applies and they go through the early deposit and they're locked in, you will receive by the financial aid package that they're gonna give you. And if you're like, man, okay, that's still too high, depending on where you go, ask if they do a second review, okay? And maybe you tell them hey, look, I've got, the FAFSA doesn't count anymore that I have multiple kids in college. I've got 2 kids in college, I'm going to college myself, you explain to them and ask for a second review. I did ask Liberty, they don't do them, they don't do second reviews.
I was gonna say, Alyssa got a lot that way, but also,
At Cedarville University, sorry.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Finish your point,
Okay.
it will come back to
Okay.
me.
So just ask them for a second, and it doesn't hurt. Go ahead and ask LU if they do a second review. They're gonna tell you no, but it doesn't hurt. Maybe you get somebody who's like, yeah, sure, okay. Okay, but just ask them. Yes, ma'am.
Cedarville lets you, I don't know what other colleges, that's the only college I've experienced it with, but we fill out a form and tell them what we paid for her siblings in private school, and that is considered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something for other ones that have other kids in school. I don't know if Liberty does that or not, but it is considered at some colleges.
Okay. So, whatever school they decide to go to, if this financial package is not enough for you, and you're like, man, your kid really wants to go, just ask, it doesn't hurt to ask. But some schools will do a second review, Cedarville doesn't. That's the only reason why I learned about it, is because Cedarville did it. I'm like, wow, that's kind of awesome. So ask for that. Okay, graduation items. I am probably in the next week or so gonna send you an email. I need to know how you want your kid's name printed on the diploma cover and on the diploma. Okay? And people will send me just the first and last, and I'll email you back. Are you sure you don't want the middle name? And then your question's gonna be, well, what is everybody else doing? So I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody does the middle name. First, middle, last. Okay? But you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I have somebody who just has an initial. I can't remember who it is, but this year they just have middle initial. That's totally fine. just, you tell me how you want it, cause that's how I'm gonna have it printed on the thing. Also, the baby picture, and I like to get this early because, otherwise I don't get it. Like, I'm still collecting baby pictures and I asked for them last year, so. Okay, so baby picture would be great, but I'll put this in the email. We are gonna order cap and gowns in October. The class of 25. Hey guys, he's gonna come in. You need to place your order. Okay, everybody got an order form. All right, they brought their money in, whatever it was, 2 weeks later. Did everybody order their cap and gown? Yes, okay. That's October. Then we get to like January, like, hey, did everybody's got their cap and gown, right? Because you already ordered because it's coming in soon, right? Yeah, we all ordered it. I am not lying, because I ain't got time to lie. 2 weeks before graduation, Mrs. Alley, I don't have a cap and gown. I'm not gonna even say what position they, but like, what do you mean you don't have a cap and gown? Like, I've been asking all this time, did everybody have the cap and gown, right? Like, when they got it, like, take it out of the package, you need to hang it up, so the wrinkle, we've been talking about this, you don't get a wrinkle raised at graduation. Nobody says anything. 2 weeks before, the boy scrambled. We just put together whatever we could, because at that point, you can't buy anything. If you buy it off of Amazon, you're gonna like look, so we're like digging through Miss Hunter's like Rubbermaid container for like captain's gown. It was just, look, he graduated, right? He graduated, it's all mine. But man, you just don't wanna be that kid, but you know, he was. Yeah. So please make sure you get orders. If you have a sibling who the cap and gown is hanging in the closet, 100% reuse it. We did that with Warren. All you would need to order is just a new tassel, so they have year 27 on it. That's all you literally have to do. Okay, there's no sense in buying two. Why? It's why. Okay, just reuse, reduce, recycle. Okay. Graduation date is May 28th at 7 p.m. Okay, it'll be here before you know it, sir.
What's the color?
Navy.
Navy.
Navy. Everybody wears navy. Yes, sir. So that is a Friday, and no, there's no limit to how many people you can bring in. Bring as many people as you want. We don't usually fill up. Your students' graduating class will have a total of 27. Okay. This year's graduating class is 22. So after your graduating class, the number just goes up. Yes, any questions? Yeah, it's a great time. It's an exciting time. John and I went to the church by ourselves one Sunday because Orrin was sick, Laura was sick, Cora was in Ohio. We went to the grocery store after like we usually do, and I'm like, you know what, John? I think I'm gonna be good. Like, it was just the two of us. I'm like, I think I'm gonna be fine. I think this is gonna be good. You know, encourage your kid to just lean on the Lord, right? What is it that the Lord's calling you to do? These are the character traits we've seen you. Do you see yourself doing this? I love that the boys have an idea of what they want to do and they're pursuing it. And Orrin's doing great at Liberty. He's a commuter student. Just FYI, the difference for him to live on campus was a difference of $3,000 a semester or $13,000 a semester. So if you really want to stay on campus, but some financial reasons for not staying on campus, and that commuter life is vibrant. I mean, you can be busy and you can meet all kinds of friends. His life group, he's the youngest guy in the life group. He's made some really good, godly male friends and
Free coffee.
Oh, the boy loves coffee. He works at Starbucks and it's really good if you ever tried it. But yeah, he loves a free coffee and syrups. Make sure you tell me they had syrups there at the Communal Lounge. But anyway, I think Liberty is very affordable. I mean, he's paying less per semester than I did back in the early 90s. So I think he did a pretty good job of getting that number down. So I will help them with anything they need for getting ready for college, for applications, of course, recommendation letters, all those different things. They can ask for teachers. Transcripts, we'll send those out, all that fun stuff. We'll help take care of that. But I don't think senior year needs to be stressful. It doesn't have to be stressful. It should be fun. This is it. You're not coming back. You're done. You know. on to bigger and better things with the Lord. So, we'll just make it as stress less as we possibly can. So just help your kids, kind of, give them some leash, but help them with time management. That's the biggest problem I think I see is time management. And if they can get it here, that'll help Dr. Arrington there, Mr. Arrington, and his professionals. Okay, any questions about anything? You guys have been awesome. 7:44. Everybody good? Okay, all right, you're welcome. I'll send those options via email, and we'll go on Thursday. Okay?